welcome back. This is Dredis with another tutorial for Madden 23. Today I'm going to show you how to load custom skill sliders for you and for the CPU from the community page. Alright, so first things is on the main screen. You all know that over here you can change the player skill, CPU skill, penalties, accessibility, game options, and so on and so forth for the whole game and for each new game that you start, so that you don't have to do that every time you load up a new game. How do you get the new community files? Well, it is basically the same as with other files. Okay, so today we will be downloading CPU sliders. I want to get realistic sliders, so which ones could we go by? You can sort by all sorts of options. I will now show you an easy one. If you sort by created date, you will immediately see the newest sliders that have been created. I just uploaded these, so you can just go ahead and try these out for yourself. Basically, you just click it, then you go download file. A CPU slider file with the same name already exists. What would you like to do? I'm going to overwrite the file. And there we go. Now we have the file saved, and we will do, you can do the same thing for the player sliders, basically doing the same thing. And again, the sorting is still in here. I have the player sliders and the CPU sliders. I will be tinkering with these over time to make them more and more realistic. I've based them off of Mat 10's sliders. Those tend to be pretty realistic overall. And now I'm going to quickly show you how to use these files. In the main menu, all you do is switch over here. You go to player skill, for instance. Then you click load file, which is the square button for me. Then you select the file that you want to use. You press load file, press yes, and there you go. And these are all the sliders that are in here. Basically, the gist of it is that the QB accuracy is decreased. You can always fix that the better your quarterback gets, but my QB is actually pretty bad at the moment, so we have to compensate a little for that. But I'd rather have this lower to add realism. Pass blocking is at 50, wide receiver catching is lowered. We've got run blocking at 50, fumbles at 65. Reaction time is a 47. Interceptions are off. Pass coverage is a 47, because turning off the interceptions, we're countering that with the quarterback accuracy. So if we have a higher QB accuracy, then the interception sort of makes sense, but they're kind of broken as well. So we're just going to turn that slider off. Tackling is lowered, power is there, and so on and so forth. So basically, this is the idea of the player skill sliders, and we're going to do the same thing now with the CPU skill sliders. Just go to CPU skill, you press load file, then you can select the file that you want to have. There's various options here, of course. I'm going to just show you the difference. For instance, going for mat sliders here, the load is super quick. There's a few differences here. For instance, interceptions are a bit higher, and for instance, then we've got the fumbles are a bit lower. But yeah, I like to go the other route. I did get very, very interesting and realistic results here. So all you do is just select the file, and you say yes, and there you go. This is it. I have lowered the CPU accuracy quite a bit, because usually the CPU quarterbacks are very, very good, which would completely make them overpowered and make ridiculous numbers in there. But the idea is to adjust that depending on who you play. So if you play Patrick Mahomes, you put it down to, I don't know, 35, maybe 40. But if you play against, I don't know, Jared Goff or Dan Jones, then you up it a little bit more, up to 46, 47, 48, 49, to sort of get a realistic result here. Playing with these, I'm actually using these in my franchise mode, and I have gotten very, very good results with them. So that should work for you as well. You can also load these in the game when you already have a franchise running. You can also, of course, do the same thing within a running franchise. As I just said, It's all in one screen here, but basically the idea is the same. You just go ahead, you go import custom sliders. The current league sliders will be replaced with custom sliders. Do you want to proceed? Yes. And then it just loads the current loaded sliders that you are using. And you can see I've got the settings in here, and I can always go ahead and adjust these in any way, shape, or form that I like. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that's the way to do it. It's pretty easy. If you've got any questions, just drop them down below in the comments or send me a personal message. I will, of course, reply to that. I'd be happy if you use my radius sliders because I think they're pretty good. But apart from that, thank you for watching and see you next time.